What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Road to Glory Career Mode. Today, guys, we're into some championship action. I don't know if we're going to play a game in today's episode. I've got a couple of stuff I want to do. One of them being make a big signing for today's episode. I've gone ahead and shortlisted a few of the people that you lovely people in the comment section suggested. So we'll check that out in a moment. But there was a couple of suggestions in there that just were out of our price range as well. So we'll check those out in a moment. Regardless, we're going to jump straight into today's episode, starting with some training to some players. So let's get into that now. Just before I do go and take a look at what we shortlisted, I appreciate all the suggestions. Also, if you can see, kind of bright in this section. There is sun outside. I've tried to block it as best I can. I can't block it any better than that. So, it is what it is. Let's get into, then, the shortlist. I've gone ahead and I shortlisted the majority of the players that you guys suggested. So, we'll check those out now. There was a few players that I didn't really know myself, and a couple of players, of course, that you guys have asked me for. I do want to bring in a striker because we have £8 million to spend. I feel like that's the only area where we're struggling for at the moment. One of those players suggested was Devante Cole. We could activate his release clause for £2 million and we could get him. He could be a possibility. You know, he's decent, 69 rated. He's not going to cost much in the wage. Very fast, of course. Donis, unfortunately, has just joined his club there, so we won't be able to sign him now. Connor Chaplin, we could try and go for. Again, very quick. He's 71 rated, might be quite good. James Wilson, he can get out of the shortlist now. I don't really know why I've still even got him in there. James Collins, I'm not really... Yeah, it would have been okay, but I'm just looking for, like, one big marquee signing. Scott Hogan, again, not really going to fit my bill. Sylvia, not really going to fit the bill. And as you're moving down, you can see I have shortlisted a couple of the players that were suggested. See, I looked at this guy, Alisson Allen de Silva, and I was like, should we get him? Because he was a decent... I'm going to leave it for now. But yeah, so, moving on. Isaac was a suggestion. Thomas Amang was a suggestion. Moussa Dembele was suggested. But Dembele did just join Ruben Kazan, so we might be able to get him. Ben Berreton was also suggested. He's 72 rated himself. Goes for a little bit of money. Zachary Delaney as well was suggested. Jesse Rodriguez was suggested. The only issue with Rodriguez is that he's worth £19 million, and I don't think we can get him. Jordan Jones was suggested, and as we're going down, you can see Reece Nelson also was in there as well. A few other players here and there, but I think, as I said, I want to bring in a big marquee striker. So, that is what brings me now onto the next point. Waiting to see about Isaac, waiting to see about Amang, waiting to see about Dembele, but out of all of them, I think it's going to be between Devante Cole, Alexander Isaac, and possibly Ben Berreton. I've used Amang before, so I don't really want to use him again. I have used Alexander Isaac before, though, as well, but not in this year's game yet. Ben Berreton is someone I've never used before, and also Devante Cole is someone I've not really used before either. So, for now, I'm going to see what the scout reports bring back, then I'll make a decision based on that. So, let me just advance a few days, guys, and we'll come back once I've got some more knowledge of the players. Also, you may have noticed as well, we've gone back a few days from where I left you off. We did actually have an issue with the save file. It did that stupid glitch again where it kind of stops and doesn't let me go forward. So I had to force close the game, come back. Luckily, it had saved at the exact point that I'd sold on, who was it? The midfield, Ryan Leonard, and that we just signed that centre-back from the free agents. So we didn't lose anything. It was literally just, it had a little bit of an issue regarding that. So Harry Pickering, happy to accept that offer for him as well. And, of course, that's the reason why we weren't on the same day that I left you all off on the last time out. Because of that, I simmed a few days. Now, Ipswich want to make the signing of Angel Gomez. Of course, we purchased him from Manchester United last season it was. He's not going anywhere. You can get lost, Ipswich. I will keep hold of him. Thank you very much. Okay, so they were offering $2.7 million for Reece James. I'm going to actually go ahead and propose a new transfer fee. They were offering 3.1. If they give me £5 million, I'll let them have Reece James. I feel like that's a fair offer. Okay, so their highest they're going to willing to part with is 4.1. We got him for free, so it's not like this is a bad situation. Do you know what? I'm going to accept that. I'm going to accept that because we do have Greg Lee. And we do have Lawson Skip as well, obviously coming through the ranks. So for left-backs, we're actually okay. And I could just go out and sign another one as a replacement. So I don't feel like we're losing that much there. Yes, he's a good player. We've even got Dickinson as well that we could, throw back there. So I'm honestly not too worried if we do let go of Reece James, to be honest. I'll happily, you know, kind of let that happen for £4.1 million. That allows us to be able to spend a bit more money as well. More training to come, and we're going to get a little bit of growth, I think, on this one. But then I want to check out some stuff regarding the players I've got waiting to get back some scout reports, because I want to try and make a few deals happen before we actually go into game one, and then we can make our decisions. So, of course, that is that. So, no growth just yet out of those guys, but still, it's pretty good. And there we go. Reece James has, in fact, left the club. He is now gone and will become an Aston Villa player. I'll check out actually to see where Villa are. I think they might be in the Championship with us, so that could be interesting when we get to play against him. But, yep, I forgot to send my scout out, so I'll do that now, and we'll get that back. I forgot to send out the scout, so we do have him sat there waiting, and he's just not got a job at the moment. So let's send him out now on a 9-month trip. I could even buy a Scout Future Star, so I might go ahead and do that again, actually. Just to spice it up a little bit. So we'll redeem the item there, see what comes back for us, and see what we can do. I think it's the first of the month that they come back. So we'll see that next month and see what they bring back for the Scout Future Star. So, 2 scout reports back. Zachary Delaney, and also Jesse Rodriguez. Now, that was always going to be a bit of a risk because of the fact he's at Manchester United. But the truth is, I am not willing to pay nearly £50,000 a week in wages when you consider the fact that we could just activate Devante Cole's release clause. He's 1 overall lower and pay like 4k a week in the wage. It's utterly ridiculous and doesn't represent good value. So I'm not interested in that at all. Jesse Rodriguez, he is £15 million. He's at 78 grand a week as well. So again, in terms of like the monetary, it's going to be a bit too tough, I think, to get him. We did, however, just receive an offer for Reece Hill, our 77 rated 17-year-old. £4.6 million for a goalkeeper of his quality. Not enough. So I'm going to actually negotiate this and see if Palace will give us a bit more. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He is, what, 77 rated? I feel like £9 million would be sufficient enough to take him off our hands. So, okay, well, Roy, I'm afraid I'm going to reject that offer because that's just ridiculous. I know he's only worth 4.1, but he's 77 rated, so jog on. So we get all the scout reports back that I was waiting for now as well, so we've got a nice amount of players that we know more about. Reece Nelson, 73 rate at this stage, very, very fast, of course, but he is £6 million and 40 grand in the wage budget. Could be one to look forward to, but we'll see about that one. Amang, he is 72 rated, worth significantly lower than I thought he was going to be, because I thought he'd be about 76, 77 at this stage and be worth about 8-9 million quid. But he's not. He's only worth 4.7, and his wage isn't even that much either. Got good jumping. He's got very, very quick, of course. His heading accuracy is not terrible. His dribbling, his finishing's a little bit weak. His long shots are very poor. But we could always train those. In terms of Moussa Dembele, we can't afford him. Got a Ruben Kazan. He's worth 21 million quid. It's not going to happen. Alexander Isaac, on the other hand, let's check out that young man first. So he's worth 4.8 million. 19 grand a week in the wage. Very similar in the aspect of the overall to that of course, Amang. And he's also better finishing than Amang. So, a little bit taller. It's interesting. They're both pretty much like-for-like players there, those two guys. Last one I scouted as well was Jordan Jones, so we'll check him out. Left midfield. I think this is the same one that one of you left the comments for. You guys said he was playing at one of the Scottish clubs, so that's different to that SV Vine there. But regardless, he's a decent player, not worth too much either. So what I could do is, we could always bring him in. And, of course, Reece James, we won't need to bring in another left-back because we could play Dickinson at left-back instead. That was always an option. So, we'll see anyways, guys. For now, we've got a lot of info back. I'm going to try and negotiate a deal for Amang, Isaac, and possibly Devante Cole. And we'll see which one accepts and which one does what. And then we can make our decisions. But Cole's easy enough. I literally just have to activate his release clause. But maybe we will see what the negotiations say first. See if we can get him a little bit cheaper. So let's try that, the first case scenario. So I want to offer the transfer fee. We're going to offer them £1.6 million for Devante Cole. It's cheaper than his release clause. I think that's a fair offer. So there you go. We didn't have to pay the release clause for Devante Cole. 69 rated. Not bad. I'm going to go ahead and negotiate deals for these two guys now as well. And maybe Connor Chaplin. And then I'll probably give you guys a vote as to which one you want to see us signing out of all three. And then you guys can tell me what you think. All right, interesting. We've had deals negotiated for all of these 5 strikers, which is where you guys are going to pick which one you want. Devante Cole, we negotiated a deal of 1.6 million for him. We just have to offer him a contract, which of course I will do based on what you guys say. Connor Chaplin, we've negotiated a £3.5 million deal for him. 2 overalls higher than Devante Cole, and he's a little bit more expensive, but of course very good as well. Alexander Isaac, we have negotiated a £5.5 million deal to bring him from Dortmund over to us here at Crew in the Championship. Of course, he's going to be a little bit more expensive in the wage, but we'll see what happens regarding that. For Amang, we have negotiated a £5.5 million deal as well. Very similar in the sense that I think it's 5.5 for each of these guys. They're all the same overall, so I decided to offer the same amount for each of the 3 players. I could, you know, make one of these high signings happen, I guess, and we'll see. But yeah, in regards to that, there's 5 strikers to choose from. I'm going to give you guys the vote on what you think we should do regarding that. So until then, I'm going to play this game against Millwall, probably end the episode off there, and then you guys can tell me which striker you want me to sign. I'll leave a little vote on the top right-hand side in the poll section so that you guys can obviously tell me which players you want me to buy. And I think we literally just have to play this game, and then we'll be able to sign them. So, new look side for Crew. Gotten already a red card for Dickinson. Not great. Let's put Nikita on the bench with Kovacic, Evans. I'm happy with that side, I think, actually. Ballow's decent as well. He's 66 rated now. Eastwood, 66 rated at the bench. Let's put him on instead of Jones. Decent. Okay. So for the side, that's what I'm going to go with. Rose, Acosta up top. Hakib, in fact, we'll put Voss on the left. Hakib out on the right, Voss on the left. Phillips and Gomez. Lee, Conser, McDonald, Iorfa, and Green in net. Very happy with that team. Let's play the one and only game of today's episode. We'll end it off there. And then it's over to you guys to make the decision on which striker you think should join us here at Crew Alexandra. And as we go into game then, it's going to be interesting. Millwall are a tough side. You know, they're an established side. They've got a lot of quality. For us, it's just going to be about feeling our way into the Championship, I think. I don't want to get too ahead of myself and say that we're going to, you know, be dominant in this league. But if we make the right signings, provided that you guys tell me which of the strikers you feel would be the best fit for the club, then that could be the best way to do it. But I'm not going to wait through. We're just going to jump straight into it. Moving the mic there. And let's get into the first game of Championship life with our Crew Alexandra new look side. Acosta in the team. You can see he's very short, but he's very quick as well, as he already wins the ball back. I'm very intrigued to see how he will play in this side for us. Other than that, it's a very, I guess, exciting time in many ways. Let's see, actually, as Voss. I'm trying to focus here already because we might have a chance. Acosta in behind. It's 1-0. We've taken the lead inside 4 minutes. Rose into Acosta. Millwall shook. Great work from Voss as he finds a nice pass into Rose. Rose, little one inside, and Acosta is just so quick. Do you know what? I was a bit on the edge with Acosta. I was like, he's very short. It might not come in clutch for us. But then my idea to play him up front instead may just work out because he's already scored on his Crew Alexandra debut, Luciano Acosta. And it is Crew 1-0 up already in the Championship. We're loving life already. This is great. Keep to one of the other new signings for us in the form of Dominic Iorfa. What I'm going to do as well, I'm going to switch around the squad numbers when we make those new signings, so we actually have, you know, legit squad numbers, so like actual players with the numbers that they should have, not wearing like number 31 or something crazy like that. Please win that, Hakib. Nope, not quite. Is crossing going to be our underdog yet again? Yes, it is. Oh, how have you missed? Millwall should have been back all square. But again, how many players have we got in the box? And he just waltzes in completely unmarked and he gets his shot away. Shocking defending again. Phillips to Rose. Rose to Voss. Voss with a turn. Great turn from Frank Voss. Just doesn't get away from his man quick enough. But that's a great ball. And Gomez makes it 2. Crew have taken a second lead. Like, when I got the ball with Voss there and turned, it just felt like he didn't have an acceleration. He basically just didn't run. But the cross in the end was so weak. It just went straight across the face of the goal. And luckily for us, Angel Gomez was on hand to make it 2-0. Yeah, I mean, Millwall have to answer some serious questions there because their defensive play was not fantastic. The finish wasn't really great from Gomez. Doesn't matter how it goes in, though, because we're 2-0 up. And heading for a massive 3 points in the Championship race. Get in. Oh, nice pass from Eddie out wide. Here is Dominic Iorfa looking for a good delivery. Iorfa towards the middle. Archer will punch away. That's disappointing because, again, Iorfa had a lot of time there to make his delivery right, and he didn't quite get it right. Hakeeb, 1-2 with Dominic Iorfa. Hakeeb now looking for his delivery. Is he going to get it right? It is a great ball. Voss is there, and Archer makes the save. In all fairness, the header was pretty much straight at him from Frank Voss, but he still had to get there and make the save, and he did that. Kevasic, now to Dominic Iorfa. Back to Hakeeb. Hakeeb with a right-footed strike. It's across the face of goal and wide. We should have taken a third there. Frank Voss, his header, back across goal, and to be honest, he made it quite easy for the goalkeeper. Slightly disappointing, but nevertheless, this has been a good performance from us so far. We've had a couple of moments where we maybe have got to defend a little bit better. Maybe Millwall should have scored, but other than that, I feel like we've controlled the game. We've dictated the pace, and we've allowed it so that we could score goals. So that's a good 3 points. Happy with that. We get ourselves off to winning ways. But now, guys, it is over to you. Tell me, who do you think we should sign out of those guys? We have, of course, got Alexander Isaac for one, Amang for another, Ben Berriton. I'm probably butchering it. I apologise if I am. We've also got Devante Cole. And who was the other one? I can't remember. Who was the other one we were signing? Amang, Isaac, Devante Cole, Ben Berriton. It's just gone out of my head. I can't remember who it is. It's going to come back to me now as well. Yep, I have no idea. I can't remember. So, yeah. Chaplin. There we go. So, out of these 5 guys, there will be a poll in the top right-hand side of the video, which is that side, guys. As I pointed correctly this way. 5 strikers to choose from. Pick the one you would like the most. And, of course, guys, it is over to you to make the decision. Who do you think is the best fit for us here at Crew? And I personally feel like I will be happy with any of these guys. I'm intrigued, though, to see what you people think. Because, personally, I think the best fit would probably be Ben Berriton, Alexander Isaac, or Devante Cole. But, of course, it's over to you. You have the power to pick the player that you think we should sign. So, I'm intrigued, and don't forget to make your vote count. If you guys don't vote, then you can't really complain if one wins that you didn't want. So, make sure you do vote, guys. Other than that, I will see you all again for the next episode where we will have a new striker joining the club and maybe even a new player as well because he's still got a bit of money after that works. So, yeah, it could be quite interesting. Thank you all so much for watching this episode. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, you never miss an upload, and I will see you all again for the next episode very, very soon. Adios!